Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we are talking about the numerology for 2023. That's right. Numerology for 2023. I think this is really cool. I found this on a website and I kind of did some more research and really looked into the numbers 2023. And so found this and very interesting about the energy when you put those numbers together. So let's talk about it. It's really an encouraging number. It's one of those, it's really an encouraging us to kind of like explore our personal talents, kind of where our talents, our gifts, and putting those to use. I think one of the major ones is kind of really talking about like how to kind of put that creative side of yours out there. And it's really kind of more opening up than just like, oh, I'm really good at art and I'm really good at like doing oil paintings. It's one of those, so let me look at charcoal painting and let me do some classes in that. So kind of really opening up that side, not just like, you know, blinders on and this is the one way I know how to do this and I can't do it any other way. So looking at things in all the possibilities. So even if you're creative, it's one of those, open those ups. And really kind of looking at our hobbies in how can we expand or kind of bring in something new or different into those hobbies. One of the things that I love doing is macrame. If you've seen a couple of my videos, I love doing macrame. I do it for jewelry for clients. I do all kinds of crazy things with it. But it was really kind of encouraging me to kind of like open up into this and maybe doing things a little bit differently, looking at things a little bit differently, or even just kind of learning some more new knots. Of course, macrame is all about the knots, and it's kind of opening that up. What does that look like for me? And I thought that was really interesting. So what does your hobby open up for you? What does that open up into for you? What is your hobby and how would you kind of like expand that or push some new exciting energy into that? We all have special gifts and talents, and some of them we get paid to do it and sometimes we don't. Sometimes I have a friend who gets paid to knit blankets and stuff. That's what she does for a living. She works for a larger company and she knits personal things, and she really loves that part. But I was like, what else could you do? Not that she needs to start her own business. I'm just saying, like, try some different knots or try some different things, because a lot of times she's like, I'm kind of doing the same things over and over again. I'm always making sweaters, I'm always making this, or I'm always making caps. And so kind of like expand that energy for her and looking at how she can use her special gifts and talents differently than she does now. I think that's kind of one of the important parts coming in for 2023. We really have to have some faith. I know a lot of people have been kind of down on the faith part lately, but kind of really opening up to that faith. Our Creator, our angels and guides are on our side and always kind of cheering us forward in what we want to do. But I really love when people tell me, what do my angels and guides want me to do? Seriously? Your angels and guides are there to kind of follow you and make sure that things are opening up for you, and that your energy is opening up to new and different ideas. So many times, like I said, people ask me like, what do the angels and guides want them to know or want them to do? And it's like, your angels and guides are not your leaders. They are there to support you as you move through your life. And that's the interesting part. What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Because a lot of times even people ask me like, what is my life purpose? Your life purpose is what you love to do. What is it that you love to do? And yes, we can ask Creator to kind of open up things, or angels to kind of like make a way for it. Yet at the same time, it's they're waiting for us to show them what we want. Not always like, oh, here, this is what Ruth is going to want, or this is what so-and-so is going to want. It's kind of like opening up to that energy and what is it that you love about it, and where is that going to take you, and not just get stuck in one area of your gifts and abilities or what you can do for a living. Opening that up. What are the new possibilities for it? How are you going to do this differently? One of the things I kind of recognize is that we often ask our angels and guides to kind of like, is this the time for this? Or this is the time for us to do this part. And that can go really well as kind of like, if you're already planning on doing it, asking them for the time frame. When should I be doing this? When should I open up into this? When everything going to fall in line so I'll be ready to go? I love when I ask my angels and guides and kind of get to see those signs open up for me. So if you're opening up to kind of those signs, it can really lead you in some interesting ways, but you got to open your ears or your eyes to see the signs in front of you. So if you're asking your angels and guides, think about the songs that you're hearing. What are the lyrics? Especially if you hear the same song over and over again, and you're like, okay, this is like the third time today I've heard this song. Really look at the lyrics of the song. What is it encouraging you in that? Maybe looking at like signs or commercials, like are they telling you the same things over and over again, or seeing billboards or hearing messages from different things? Are you watching a show and you're hearing the same information from several different characters at the same time? That's kind of giving you your sign, like this is where you need to go with this is what you need to be thinking about next. Kind of the next part of 2023 is really asking us to learn how to love ourselves. This one can be a little bit of a hard one, and I know it's hard for me. I did not grow up in a super loving family. It's one of those, so I didn't really learn how to love myself, and I didn't really learn how to kind of show love to myself. Like, how do I do that for myself? And a lot of times it can be interesting if you didn't grow up with it, but kind of like, how would you want to honor yourself and do some part of that every day, even if it's only a few minutes of it or an hour of it, but opening up to that and getting that guidance from your inner self. Like, how do I take care of me? What is going to feel like, wow, I really had a great day today? For me, that could be meditating, but that could also taking time for myself. Going for a walk by myself, kind of getting out of the norm. I'll tell you, I do have a little secret tree not too far from here, and I love to go and just kind of like do a meditation with that tree. That is kind of like a super special thing to do, and I'm going to kind of commit to that a little bit more in 2023, because I think about it for a while and I may do it 2 or 3 times and then it kind of falls off my calendar. Putting it on my calendar at least once a week. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to honor myself and really get into this meditation of kind of getting out of my space and getting out of the way and enjoy my time alone. When we are doing that, when we are honoring our gifts and abilities, it's going to open up even more. One of the things that is really going to be enhanced in 2023 is a lot of new people getting into meditation. And once you start kind of in meditation, it really does kind of daisy chain into amping up your gifts and abilities. So even just meditating can really amp up your gifts and abilities. So what is it that are your gifts and abilities? How are you going to learn how to do that? I love teaching people about their gifts and abilities and teaching them how to keep them protected and how to keep that energy backed off from it. I really know and believe that that is a really essential part of your gifts and abilities, is not just accepting them and opening up to them, yet it's learning about them and learning how to keep them protected. So when you're out in public, you're not being overwhelmed by being in a crowd. You're not being overwhelmed or kind of seeing too many things when you're out and about. Kind of being able to turn things down can really help with that. And focusing in on your gifts and abilities and how to keep them protected for you. I think clairsensitives have a hard time doing that, but so can clairvoyance. And it's one of those, like, it can be really like, wow, this is a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. And that can also be the fun part of it, is opening up to that. How are you opening up to that energy of your gifts and abilities? learning about you, learning about your natural God-given talents in your abilities can really help you. Once you kind of really embrace that, it can really open up a lot more creative work for you. It can be very inspired to kind of open things up and kind of bring in a new level of creativity to make the most of your 2023. So let's pull some angel cards and get into some angel cards and asking our angels and guides, like, what else do we require knowing about this message? This one is popping off the top right here. So this is Vesta, and this is all about the hearth. I will say this is really important because taking care of our heart, kind of taking care of us, is really important. And so many people like me kind of put that to the wayside and don't really take care of ourselves as much as we could or should. And that's the important part, is taking care of us, because when we take care of us, it's one of those, then we can honor other people and help them take care of themselves. This is the 11th house, and this is community. And this is kind of really our community. When we are in a group of friends or people and we really open up to taking care of ourselves, like, I'm going to take a few minutes to myself, I'm going to take a step back for a little bit, we are encouraging others to do the same thing. When you take a step back, it encourages other people, like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could take a step back. I didn't know I could take a few minutes to myself and recover, recoup, and move forward again. Gemini, this is all about cross-pollinating. This is what we're talking about. When we take care of ourselves, it allows other people to realize that they can take care of themselves as well, and they should. It's one of those, you only get one you, and so you should be taking care of you and what works for you. And sometimes that is taking a step back in even a crowd or a group of people and really opening up to that energy so you can really understand what's coming in around you. This is the moon, and this is the perception. It's our point of view. Taking care of us, or opening up to our caring side for ourselves first, and then taking care of other people, can put so many things into perspective, so many things into this amazing energy. And opening up to kind of like our gifts and talents, kind of like, what are your creative skills? What do you really love to do? What are your hobbies that you love to do? Kind of what are the special gifts that you can do for other people? And learning how to do it for yourself first can really open that up. This is all about the square, and this is all about tension. If you have too much tension or stress in your life, this is where you're coming in at, is you've really got to open up to this new energy of opening up of, what can I release, or what can I let go of, and kind of cultivating that new energy in there, and not hanging on to, we've always done it this way, or we've always do it this way, that sort of thing. That can be very closed off thinking. So kind of open up to those new possibilities. And that could also mean, for some reason, my angels and guides are telling me this, maybe that could mean someone else taking over for this period of time. So it's not all on one person, or asking someone to help or assist in some areas can be very powerful. And the next one, this is the 12th house, and this is all about our introspection. Looking inside of ourselves for the answer for ourselves is amazing. I love talking to my angels and guides and getting kind of their help and assistance, but it's not allowing them to run my life. It's asking them, is it the time now for this? I really feel this being put on my heart, and I'm not sure when I should be putting this into place. Asking for their assistance with it is perfect, but really kind of just giving it to them, or like, it's up to you when everything else falls into place. No, that's not the place that your angels and guides have. Your angels and guides are there to support you in what you want to do and how you want to do things in your life. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.